Everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Alice, I'm French, I'm from Paris, and today we are going to cover a big subject that I'm pretty sure everyone is interested, is how French women date, what we cook for a date. So I'm going to give you a lot of tips how to date a French woman today. But before going to the subject, I just want to introduce my channel. So it's all about French lifestyle, how French women live our day-to-day life. You know, French beauty, French skincare, French cooking, French diet. I'm also a huge perfume lover, especially vintage perfume. So if you love French perfume, I strongly suggest you to watch my previous video. If you like this video, if you like this channel, don't forget to subscribe. It gives me a lot of motivation to continue. You can also follow me on my social media. So thank you for all of you for all your support and your comments. Thank you so much. So now jumping into the subject, it's how French women date. So in this video I'm gonna give you tips, what we do for our dates, how to date also French women, what we cook, because French women love to cook. It's something it's very much in our culture. It's to invite our date at home and cook for our dates. So I strongly also suggest you to do that. And I record everything. So in this video you're gonna see what I've cooked for my dates. I film, I record everything. It was a lot of fun actually. So if you know me, or if you follow me a little bit, I broke up recently from my ex-fiancé. It was a very long relationship and I started to date recently. So it's very new for me to date. It's been like 6 years to be honest. So it's a huge big thing for me. And also the fact that I'm dating in America and not in Europe, not in France, it's also a big difference, because there is a huge culture, huge difference between America, dating in America and dating in France. From what I learned and from what I know, it's in America you date several people at the same time, okay? And you decide to go exclusive at that point. At that point you go, you decided to be exclusive and to continue to a serious relationship or not. In France it's very much not like that. I'm gonna say if you do that you might, and if you say that you might have like a slam in your face. We don't date several people at the same time. It's not very I don't know, it's not in our culture. Some guy can do that, but it's not very nice, or it's not in the French culture, I'm gonna say. Usually we date someone, okay, we like each other, we date, and if we like each other we continue to date, okay, and we go for an exclusive relationship, but we don't date several people at the same time like that. It's not in our culture. And I'm not very comfortable with that in America, to be honest, because from my experience I have right now, it's very much like I have the impression that people are selling themselves, like they sell the best thing of themselves, and you pick and you choose. It's something that makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I mean, in France or in Europe we are very much more spontaneous when it comes to dates. There's something more romantic, like I really believe in a coup de foudre, or coup de foudre, like you really fall in love with someone, you have something happening, like a very nice connection, something is a bit happening between two persons, and you decided to have a very nice relationship, and you go for a date and you continue. It's something I really love. You know, using application, using all these dating application, I realize that I'm not super comfortable with it, because there's a lot of lack of like spontaneous or things, or like I don't know, I don't think I'm made for that, but I have a very good experience, and it's a very interesting experience. But I believe more into coup de foudre, or things are more natural and organic, and you met someone and you fell in love and there's a super nice connection, and after you decided to go for a date. But anyway, the thing, and it's gonna be also the subject of this video, is French women, we love to cook. So for the first date, usually I strongly recommend to invite your date to a restaurant. I think it's what we do, a drink or a restaurant. just to introduce yourself and, you know, make sure there's a connection. But for the first real date, the evening, so usually you invite your date to a very nice restaurant. My recommendation will be don't choose, you don't need to choose something super fancy, super expensive. I think French women will like to judge the place not by the fact that it's expensive and superficial and super fancy, but more by the food or you know, or the way we connect, meaning that try to find a place you really like that really reflects your personality, that you also like the food, because for my part I usually judge someone by the food, not really by the place. I like very much simple things. I like simple place, simple things, and I judge my dates usually by the food. If I don't like the food, something that you're not supposed to say, I'm not supposed to say in this video, but this is my little secret. Usually if I don't like the food, I don't continue to date someone. It's a big red flag for me. So I don't judge by the place, usually I judge more by the food, but I will recommend to really try to pick a very nice place, not too loud, quiet, so you can have space to talk. And be a gentleman. With a French woman you have to be a gentleman. Yeah, you have to really, yeah, you have to be a gentleman. So first go for a drink, after you go to the table, you please open the door, always open the door for the woman. If she's arrived with an Uber, please open the door of the restaurant first. You know, it's the things that unfortunately that I saw less and less in dates. There's less and less education. I'm super old school, and I love when a man, you know, really knows all these things. So it's super important. My tips for dating a French woman. If you date a French woman, I will say that we love people who are very much old school and traditional, meaning that they have education or they're romantic. So for example, the man should open the door at the restaurant. It's very old school, very traditional. Why is that? Because the man always open the way for the woman and stay behind her. So you open first the door, you let the woman pass, and after you are behind the woman, because if the woman fell down on the floor, you are able to get it back or order. This is very traditional, okay? This is like French, it's like savoir vivre. We call it savoir vivre. This is very traditional, very old school. Very few people now know that, but it's the way you should do. You should open the door first of the restaurant, let the woman pass, and you stay behind her. So I'm very surprised. Sometimes I date people who don't, so they open the door, they don't wait, or it's weird, it's super weird. So for me it's like, it's a lack of politeness and education. I pay attention a lot. So French women, we pay attention a lot to this type of details, especially if she's, you know, she's from Paris, so she's old school. Also, the little detail, so please keep it simple, but dress well. Don't dress to impress, okay? You're not at work, you're on a date. So keep it very simple, nice shirt, everything clean up. French women are also super like, I love perfume, so you know that I love perfume. My channel is also dedicated to French perfume. So I really love when the man has a very nice perfume and also give, you know, something. It's super nice, you know, you can smell good, especially when I come close to this person during the diner. So we pay attention a lot to this little detail. It's politeness, education, savoir vivre, be respectful all the time, to cook for a date. And I think at that point it's super important. I strongly suggest you to invite your date at home and cook for your dates. My mom used to do that, my grandma used to do that, I have friends who also do that. I love this part of the relationship because outside is very much different, because when you invite someone and you cook for this person, it creates a very nice, intimate atmosphere, very, very romantic vibe, and it's a way also to know this person better, to know this person deeper, to create another connection, more intimate than just, you know, going outside each time. I love that. I love that. I love to cook. Usually I love to cook, so it's something that I love. But cooking for someone, for me, it's something I also love to do. So I'm gonna give you some recommendations, some tips if you want to cook for your dates, what French women cook and how we dress the table, for example, how make a nice setting. And I'm gonna give you some my French recipe, French cooking secret actually in this video, and I record everything. So later in the video you're gonna see what I've cooked for my date at that time and how I cook for him. Also another tip, you know, it's another tip of politeness. So when someone invites you for a diner, and now I'm talking to the guy who are watching the video, if someone invites you and cook for you, the least thing you can do is bring wine or flowers. This is super important because when you invite someone for, you know, for a diner, you cook and you spend time to cook. The least thing you can do is that it's bring a bottle of wine. If she's a French girl, bring some French bottle. But French wine is the best, huh? Or flowers. And ladies, if your dates do not bring anything, and it happened to me once, it was a huge disappointment for me. It was a huge disappointment. It's a red flag. It's really a red flag. It means that either this person is not respectful, so does not respect the time you just spend for this person, the energy you give to this person, or this person does not have education. So in either way, it's a huge red flag, because you don't want to date someone who does not have any education. Okay, you don't want to date that, or you don't want to date someone who's not able to respect you. So both case, it's a huge red flag. And my recommendation will be just be polite, continue the date like that, but just think twice before to continue the date after that. It's a huge red flag. It's not really polite, and it's a huge disappointment. Now we're gonna talk to what French women cook for a date, my menu. So at that time, you're gonna see in the video, I decided to cook an entree, main meal. So how it goes, it's like that. An entree, we go usually French, you know, in the French, very French and traditional way. You cook an entree, a meal, and a dessert. You can also put the cheese before the dessert. So I decided for the entree to cook French quiche, Provençal quiche. The main meal, I decided to go for a Provençal chicken fry. So it was fried with olive oil, and I decided to follow the very traditional French recipe actually, with some vegetable and French fries on the side. And for the dessert, I decided to go for a pavlova. So usually I cook French mousse au chocolat, Grand Marnier French mousse au chocolat, which is my favorite. I mean, this is my signature dessert. This is something I love to cook. But this time I decided to try the pavlova. So pavlova is a Russian dessert. And I don't know, I wanted to try something different. But usually I like to cook very traditional dessert, very French dessert, like Grand Marnier mousse au chocolat. So mousse au chocolat, Grand Marnier, c'est mousse au chocolat, chocolate mousse with a liqueur, an orange liquor. I love to cook that. Or I love to cook framboisier with pistachio, which is also something I love to cook. Or another chocolate extra moelleux, you know, chocolate extra moelleux cake with some chocolate ganache in the middle. I love to cook, you know, very traditional, but this way, I don't know why I wanted to go for a Russian dessert and the pavlova. So pavlova is like a layer of meringue. You have different layer of meringue with cream on between the layer, and on the top you have another layer of cream, and you put some berries. So it's a mix of meringue, cream and berries, okay? So that's the menu I decided for my dates, and I'm gonna leave you now because you're gonna see what I've cooked, how I cook. My last recommendation for the dressing and everything. So usually when I cook in Paris, it's very much more sophisticated in some way, because in Paris I have all my dishes. You know, my crystal things. I can make it super nice, super sophisticated in Paris actually, but here in Miami I try to keep things really more simple. You don't need to make it super fancy, super like, just keep it simple and beautiful. So for the setting you can go for fresh flowers, you can set very nice plate, for example, put fresh flowers. I love orchids, so I put orchids on the table, you're gonna see in this video. But make it simple, you don't need to go to make it super fancy to impress. French women, we like to make it simple. You can make it more sophisticated if you decide to pursue the relationship. But for the first time, especially if you're not comfortable, or it's your first, like, I'm gonna say first date at home like that and cooking for someone, it's better to make it simple, and after that you can work on to make it more sophisticated. Before watching the video, what I've cooked for my date, two little tips. So in this video you're gonna see that I made the dessert a little bit in advance. Why is that? Because the pavlova is a little bit tricky in the way that the meringue has to be cooked very slowly and very long. It's at least 3 hours of cooking. So you're gonna see in the video that I make the meringue before making my main meal, and I recommend for you ladies, if you make a dessert a little bit more sophisticated or a little bit tricky like the pavlova or something like millefeuille or choux à la crème, whatever you want to do something sophisticated, it's better to make the dessert a little bit in advance, because if something bad happens or goes wrong, you have time to redo it, or you're not gonna be super stressed, okay? I have friends that even they do the dessert one day before, okay? I have a friend, she's like that, she wants to do everything perfect, and she always do the dessert like one day before, and she keep it in the fridge. Make sure you have an option B. For example, in my case, if my pavlova wasn't successful, my option B was to do like a French mousse au chocolat, chocolate mousse. French chocolate mousse is super easy to do. You can do your chocolate mousse in 1 hour, just the fact that, in 30 minutes your chocolate mousse is done. You just have to keep it in the fridge, and that's it. So hello everyone, so what I'm cooking today for my date tonight, so I'm gonna cook a Provençal quiche. It's gonna be the entree. Because when we cook, usually we make an entree, a main dish, and sometimes cheese, and after the dessert. So I love to cook quiche because quiche for summer is a very good, it's a very good idea. It's not super heavy for summer, it's perfect. You can serve it hot or fresh or cold. So I'm gonna probably serve this quiche hot. I like quiche hot, but cold it works perfectly fine. So what I've done, I clean a little bit, because always clean your kitchen. Even when you cook, you have to clean after it. It's not really comfortable to clean when in a kitchen is very dirty, even when you cook. So what I've done in my quiche, I put a pastry sheet. I put a layer of goat cheese. I put some thyme. So always have thyme. French girl will always have thyme. Provençal herbs in our kitchen. For example, Provençal herb like that. We always have that in our kitchen. It's the base in your kitchen. We always have different type of spices and French spices. So I put a layer of fresh goat. So this is the fresh goat I got. Okay, I like organic. I like to take organic. I would strongly suggest you to take especially cheese, organic cheese. I put a layer of goat. I put a little bit of thyme. And after that I do my eggs. So I do 3 eggs. 3 eggs. I should have showed you. I'm sorry. I didn't think to really film when I'm doing the quiche. I should have done that. But I put the 3 eggs like here. I put some dishes tomatoes. So fresh tomatoes. Please always bring fresh things. So French tomato, I cut it. And inside I put some salt. I put some herbs de Provence. This is so good. I swear, I strongly recommend you to put herbs de Provence because they really give this flavor, this Provençal flavor. It's wonderful. And my secret touch, and I strongly suggest you to buy that, it's organic black truffle olive oil. I put 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons of organic black truffle olive oil, and I swear it gives this truffle smoky flavor, and it makes your dishes so chic, so fancy. It transforms anything you cook, anything. So I'm gonna cook the quiche first because I need this plate actually to do my dessert. I'm gonna cook a pavlova. So I'm gonna cook that probably 250 Fahrenheit, not more. I'm gonna make sure it's not gonna be burned or too hot. I'm gonna clean that to make sure it's perfectly clean. I'm gonna cook that first. I'm gonna show you after it's done how I'm gonna dress everything. So make sure my quiche is good and it looks good. I'm gonna probably put a little bit of oil on the top. I'm gonna show you how I do to make it sure it's very beautiful, to make it dress it up. So first I'm gonna cook the quiche, and I will show you how I dress my quiche, how I put some herbs on the top so it's perfect. So let's cook that first, and after that I'm gonna do also the, I'm gonna do the Provençal not baskets. I'm gonna do a Provençal chicken. Provençal chicken for my date. I'm vegan, so usually I cook meat for my date, but I don't eat. I prefer to, I eat things. I'm very particular, so I eat other things actually. But for my date, he's not vegan, and it's not a problem for me. So he eats meat, so I buy this this wonderful chicken, and I'm gonna do the chicken after. But first, I'm gonna cook the quiche, and let's see how it's gonna be. I'm gonna let cool down the quiche a little bit. Look at how beautiful is it. Is it not beautiful? Look at that, okay? But I'm gonna make it more beautiful, so I'm gonna make sure the quiche is like really done. Just try, yeah. When I cut, it should be done like that. Yeah. So I think when I plant, just to make sure your quiche is done. If you plant the north, nothing should be like, nothing should crumble, nothing should be too soft. Even the sheet, like here, the bread, no, I think it's very nice. So I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit, like for 10-15 minutes. And after it, I can, cut the quiche. Probably dressing a little bit. So everything will be ready for my date actually. So I don't need to cut. I don't need to cut anything. I don't know. To be honest, I like when everything is, I just need to. I like to prepare everything in advance, so everything is already ready. But you can be a little bit more spontaneous and cutting everything when your date is here. But for tonight, because I want to talk with him, I have a lot to say tonight actually. and I don't want to be bothered, you know, or with all the dressing and everything. So because I don't want, you know, I want to save time and I want everything perfect, so I will work on the dressing. So I'm gonna show you, probably I'm gonna let it cool down for 10 minutes and I'm gonna work on the dressing to make sure it's perfect. But the idea is to add the basil. I have basil, you know, it was left in my fridge, so basil, probably a little bit of truffle oil, a little bit on the top. Yeah, so I can show you how I dress everything up actually. So, and I will put in the fridge, so everything will be ready, and I just had to put on the oven for 10 minutes for my date or everything. So the idea is that it's to really work on the dressing so I can save time and everything is perfect. So let's wait for 10 minutes and I'm gonna dressing everything after. I see you again for the dressing. Look at that. Look at that. So I'm proud of me actually. I'm proud of me. So the dressing, what I've done, I add a little bit of truffle oil on the top. Just a little bit, like few on the top. And I add some basil here. And I put some truffle butter on the side. And to be honest with you, I try the quiche to make sure the quiche is good. And yeah, I really suggest you to try what you cook, because there's no surprise. Yeah, I know it's not good for your diet or whatever, but I try a little bit just to make sure it's good. So this is my dressing. The idea is also you can, you know, there's an idea also to put a little fillet of truffle or olive oil. In some French restaurant, very good one, they do that, you know, a little fillet on the, no, just here like that. I saw that on a very good French restaurant. They put some fillet line of olive oil here and here. I mean, it's a super nice dressing, but I don't want to be that too fancy actually. Too fancy. I just want to make it beautiful. Too fancy. I want to be a little bit simple tonight, but I can do that. I think it's a good idea to put like a line of olive oil both sides. It would be very beautiful, but I mean, I want to keep it simple for tonight, so I'm very proud. So the butter also, it's a good idea. Also it's melting a little bit because the, you know, the plate was hot actually, was too warm. But yeah, the idea is that you can put a little bit of butter. It's just to make, you know, an idea of presentation, to make it look nice, beautiful. And okay, we're not 3-star Michelin, but it's super nice actually, okay? So the idea is to really work on the dressing before. So everything is ready and you just have to warm it up with the oven or the microwave, okay? Just to warm it up, and you don't have, you know, you can save time, it's less stressful for you. So this is like the entree. I'm ready to start my pavlova. So I put four white eggs. I put like 70 grams of sugar. I can go more, but for my meringue, because I'm starting the meringue first, okay? So for my meringue, I can do more sugar, but I don't want to put too much sugar, okay? So I'm gonna start to really wipe the white egg, so I get a very nice, very shiny meringue. Also, a little tips to wipe your eggs and have a perfect, you know, meringue. Put a little bit of salt in the white eggs. This is a tips I got also from my mother, actually. So your meringue will be perfect. So I'm gonna use my batter, okay, my batter electric. I don't know how to say in English. There's no like real translation. Maybe a wiper, I don't know how to say it. But in French we say batter electric. So I'm gonna wipe everything and I'm gonna show you my meringue. And after I'm gonna cook my meringue slowly for like at least 2 hours. So that's why this dessert is super long actually. It's a long dessert. So that's why I strongly suggest you to start the dessert first or in advance. At least this one. And plan B, if for one reason I don't know, my dessert like doesn't work or I made something bad, I have a plan B. Actually, I'm gonna make a mousse au chocolat, which is very quick to do. Always have a plan B, we never know with desserts, it's not that easy. Especially the pavlova, it's not too difficult, but the meringue and, you know, the chantilly, everything, so the meringue can be a little bit tricky. So first I'm gonna do the meringue and I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna cook slowly the meringue. Let's see you in a few minutes. Perfect. We call it in French onctueux. You have to get a very onctueux texture. So it's not like, you know, it's stay in place, it's not liquid, it's perfect. I have a very good meringue. I'm very pleased with my meringue actually. So the second step is I'm gonna cook that very slowly. So I check online, it should be between 200 to 50 Fahrenheit, no more. The meringue cook very slowly with a very low temperature. Not too warm, because otherwise the meringue is going to burn completely. It should be very low, very slowly. So to remind you, I put four white eggs with 70 grams of sugar. I wipe my eggs with an electric batter, and when my eggs make a little mousse, I start to slowly incorporate, slowly adding the sugar. Not at the first, not at the end, it's not gonna work. It should be like slowly. And after that you have a very nice meringue. And now I can start to cook my meringue. I'm gonna show you how I do it. To cook my meringue, so what I did is a tip. So to make sure your meringue is not gonna stick when it will be cooked, put butter. So you put some butter on the plate, put your meringue. So I'm very pleased with the texture. The meringue look very nice. Look how shiny it is. So I'm gonna start my oven. So like you see, bake. I'm gonna put at 250, no more. It should be even 250, 200 to be honest. So the meringue is not gonna burn actually. 250. I'm gonna start with 250 and let's see how the meringue is going to bake. Start on. Okay, it's gonna pre-cook actually. So I'm gonna bake my meringue right now. The food is very hot actually. I need to clean my everything. While my meringue is still cooking, my meringue is there and it looks great. It's still in the process. Yeah, it looks great. So it's still cooking. It's long actually. I think after 2 hours it will be fine. I'm gonna start my poulet, the chicken, the Provençal chicken, because I don't want to be late. So I'm really following the old school traditional recipe for the chicken poulet. So first I blend flour with salt and pepper. Okay, I blend everything, and I I put the poulet in the flour. Okay, and after I'm gonna fry the poulet with olive oil. So I'm gonna show you right now. I put some olive oil in my poêle. I'm gonna put, okay, not too much, 6, and right now I'm gonna fry it. So first to fry the poulet. It's the recipe, it's really the traditional recipe. I'm gonna do all, you know, even we're not gonna eat everything. It will be for friends. Usually I also cook for friends. They come up they came after and they eat. Okay, so I'm gonna do in my plate it will be enough. So I'm gonna cook that. The idea is to fry the poulet to make it very crispy. So that's why there's the flour. You first put your poulet into the flour, and after that you're gonna fry it with olive oil. The idea is really to make the poulet, the chicken, really crispy. And after you're gonna work with. So while my chicken is frying I put some onion, and it's still frying. So as you can see, the idea is really to fry very well the chicken. So my chicken is still frying. I don't want to be burned, I want to be fried. So I might reduce a little bit. So it's still frying. I'm gonna let it fry. I'm working on the sauce on the side. So I put tomato sauce, I put onion, I put persil, I put a little bit of lemon with the sauce. I might put 1 teaspoon of sugar actually. Maybe adding no, I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of sugar. I put also olive, so dark olive, and usually with the traditional recipe, the French recipe, they put white wine. Unfortunately, I don't have white wine. I need to check. But I don't think I have white wine on the side, which is okay. But if you follow the traditional French recipe, put some white wine on the sauce. So the idea is really to fry the poulet, okay, to really make it fry, and to work on the sauce after. You're gonna add the sauce later, once the chicken is fried. So I see you with my poulet, Provençal poulet. Look at that. Look at that, how beautiful it is, huh? So it's cooking a little bit, very, very slow. So make sure it's slow, so nothing is burned. I just want the sauce to be like, to be warm. I don't want to burn anything, so cooking very, very slowly. I might reduce or stop it and maybe warm it up when my dad will be here. Working on the dressing actually. I will prepare probably the plate in few minutes. In the next 10 minutes I'm gonna prepare the plate. And working on the dressing. Let's check my meringue, which is still cooking. Yeah, it takes a lot of time actually. The meringue is, I'm wondering if I will have enough time. To be honest, it's very, very long. So I might work on the creme. It's long. I think, yeah, probably 1 hour again. It's a long, I'm gonna check inside, because outside looks nice, but I'm gonna check inside and how long it's gonna take. While I'm still working on my meringue, I'm still waiting, the meringue is gonna cook. So it's still 6 p.m. so I think the meringue should take 1 hour to cook. It's fine. I will probably work on the dessert like at 7. So I'm working on the bread actually, and I have some tips for you, French tips. So in some French restaurants, I think it's very nice, they propose different type of bread, so you know, olive bread, whatever. And I found that in some restaurants the bread is already fried, and it's fried with like truffle. So what I've done is I put truffle butter on the bread, and I fried the bread. Okay, I fried the bread with that, and I put truffle butter. There's truffle butter and olive oil. There's different type of bread, so the olive oil, the truffle butter, and I find very, very nice, you know, because there's different type of bread, different flavor. So this is the bread on the side for my date tonight. So if you want truffle butter, olive oil, regular bread if you want regular bread. There's different kind of bread tonight. So this is a French tips, and I receive a lot of like compliments. They said it's delicious, they really like it. So this is a little tips. I'm still working on my meringue, but I have things to do while the meringue is gonna cook, so it's still fine. So let's wait for the meringue. Come back while my meringue is still cooking. It's taking longer than I think, but that's okay. I'm doing the cream, so I wipe heavy cream. I use heavy cream, so I recommend to use heavy cream. I use, you know, heavy wiping cream. I had a little bit of sugar, and I wipe everything. I'm gonna stop the meringue, even it's not hyper very crispy. I'm gonna stop the meringue, let it cool down, and I'm gonna prepare the pavlova, because yeah, it's, you know, the dressing is gonna take a little bit of time for the dessert. So I'm gonna show you how I do, and I'm gonna let cool down the meringue and show you the dressing for the pavlova. Okay, so this is the pavlova. Okay, the meringue was crispy actually. So my recommendation for the pavlova is really to cool down the meringue at least 1 hour. If you want to speed up everything, you can put the meringue on the fridge, but if you put the meringue on the fridge, the problem is that the meringue is not going to be crispy. So you lose this crispy side actually if you put on the fridge. But let's cool down the meringue naturally for like at least 1 hour. And after, you can start to work with the cream. Same thing with the cream, really put the cream in the fridge, it's really better. And after, you can work. So what I did for my pavlova, I put 2 layers of the meringue. And I put a big layer of cream. So 1 layer of meringue, 1 layer of cream, 1 layer of meringue, 1 layer of cream. And on my pavlova, I put some berries, because the pavlova is always with berries, so strawberries, raspberries. I like to put pistachio, because my date like pistachio. It's something I know. So I like to put some, you know, pistachio on the top. I think I'm gonna put the butter on the side. So very simple, okay. You can put flour, you can put a candle. I'm gonna put a candle actually, like the candle actually. You know, I put some flowers. I love orchids, so I put some orchid on the side. You know, the bread, the dressing is very simple, but it works. So I need to get ready now, dropping Napo, and get ready for my date. That was my video for my date. So as you can see, I really enjoy it. I love to cook, and for the story, my date eats everything. He eats everything I cooked, so I was super pleased actually. For me, it was a really good sign that, you know, the fact he eats everything and he loved it, it's a really good sign. You know, I wasn't stressed that much, because I know I cook well, because I used to cook for my friends. Usually I cook, it's a way for me to relax, and it's my hobby, I'm gonna say. And I don't cook for me because I'm on diet, but I cook for my friends. And usually I text them and they come and they pick everything and they can eat. So my friend always tell me, okay, this is good, or something they like less. You know, my friend, they judge. So I know I cook well, thanks to my mom. My mom teach me, and she gives me a lot of very good recipe. I saw my mom cooking when I was a kid. She cooked pretty much everything at home. But you know, there's always, because especially if you date someone who is not from your culture, from your country, there's always room that you don't know if it's going to like what you cook, because there's also the culture, the difference of taste and the difference of culture. But in that case, he eats everything. He also loves the pavlova. So yeah, I was super pleased. So today it was super fun, this video. I really wanted to make this video because in fact I had like a few friends who were dating a French woman, and we were asking me a lot of tips actually, like what we should do for a date, what do French women like actually. So that's why I decided to make this video, and because also I'm dating. So don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment. I'm sure you have a lot of things to say. I will be super interested to know if you date a French woman, or if you are a woman and you want to cook for your date, what do you cook, or if you prefer to go to the restaurants. Anything, I will be super interested to know your experience about it. And I'll see you soon for another video. Bye.